Welcome back to the coolest show in town. You know, Living 757, we really love sports, and especially me. I'm a sports lover. But this is a first for us, and I can say that confidently. It's hockey, but it's also underwater. So let's welcome the experts to help explain what is going on. Alex and Jess, welcome to Living 757.
All right, nice
Thanks.
to meet you. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, we're super excited.
I think the question on my mind, and probably on the viewers' minds, is underwater hockey. What is it and how do you play?
Yeah, absolutely. And so most people haven't heard of the sport before. And essentially, you have a 4-pound puck right here made of lead, and it's encased in plastic. This sinks to the bottom of a 7 to 8 foot pool.
Okay.
And you have fins, you have a polo cap, gloves, goggles. These are the sticks.
Okay.
And you just hold your breath and swim down to the bottom of the pool. They typically at tournaments sink walls and metal goals down to shoot into, but it's played 6v6.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yes, here. This one's even heavier. This one is per practice. It's typically
was in
used
shape.
for trying it like stick skills on the surface, but it's played 6v6. Usually the teams are comprised of 10 people. This actually started in Great Britain. For the Navy divers to train during the off season, just as a fun thing to do. And it slowly evolved and grown its way to like 40 different countries. So there is like a world tournament sanctioned by the US Olympics. We're slowly working towards being in the Olympics as we send more people to other countries to get into the sport.
I love it.
But yeah, I've been playing for about 11 years now myself.
All right, you've been playing for 11 years, so you're kind of like a vet at the sport. You have only been playing for about 2, right?
I've been playing for 2 years, yeah.
Okay, so if somebody was looking to get into this sport, how does that work? Like for a newcomer, how do you kind of train yourself to play this game that you kind of know, because everybody kind of knows hockey, but underwater, and also very differently than than hockey on the ice works?
Well, one of the things that I found was really interesting was that a lot of the strategy is who's holding their breath down and who's at the surface recovering. So if however many people you have on your team, and that might depend in scrimmages, it might be less, but
Depending on how many people show up to practice that day.
Right.
Sometimes people are just like, I don't feel like holding my breath today.
But if you've got 6 playing and a few are down, then you're going to exhaust yourself if you stay down for too long. So part of the strategy is, make sure that you're in the right positioning when you go down, and so you're not holding your breath the entire game, but you're pacing yourself and you're working with your teammates and paying attention so that when you do go down, you can do the most when you're there.
That makes sense.
The average amount of time a person spends underwater with the puck is somewhere around 11 seconds.
11
So
seconds.
it's not like you are holding your breath for minutes on end.
Okay.
Training,
That was
doing
actually
the
going to be
workouts.
another question was like, do you have any tricks to learn how to hold your breath longer? Because I would feel like I'd probably try to stay underneath long enough that I would pass out.
Absolutely. And training your lungs is like training out any muscle that you have in your body. You just got to work it out and figure out what workouts do you need in order to get to the level that you want to be at.
Right.
Back when I started playing at George Mason University in DC, I was training for the world's underwater hockey team at one point. And yeah, we were going, a lot of the workouts are called hoo-hos or ho-hoos, which basically means you're coming up to the surface and breathing for a certain amount of time, and then going back down to the bottom, holding your breath for a certain amount of time. There are some workouts called ASAPs, which is essentially as slow as possible. So you're going to hold your breath and swim from one end of the pool to the other as slow as you possibly can. Really trying to train those lungs up, and it really is more of the more you come out and practice, the more you work out, the better off that your lungs are going to be when it comes tournament time and comes game time.
That makes perfect sense. Now, when you're looking at people who are joining the sport, are there a lot of people from certain facets of life, people who are former swimmers or scuba divers? Do you see that a lot or no?
Absolutely. I'll let you tell a little bit more about the types of people.
We've got a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds who are on the team, and we've got people from different countries. One of our team members started doing underwater
Rugby,
Rugby, yeah.
which is a whole other sport. Yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd never done anything similar, although I like to swim.
Yeah.
I found out about it because I got in a conversation with somebody. We were talking about swimming. And so I think one of the cool things is the different kinds of backgrounds that people have. I think most people, in order to start, you have to know how to swim. But beyond that, I think most people are fairly interested in sports, but I don't know that there's a single common factor about
Right.
And we
Anybody
have
on the
people
team.
from France
And these look
all
very
ages
different.
as well.
These look very different from your normal hockey stick too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm happy to show you like how to hold them, and you're gonna put your thumb on the
Okay.
back, like right here, and this hook right here is really for defense. So
Okay.
this hook right here is really used for practicing on the surface, like I was saying. So it's about pushing the puck forward, like you were
Okay.
just doing, and then let's say someone was coming at me and I wanted to defend. I'm gonna hook the puck in,
Oh.
and I'm going to curl it
So
and
you're
put
not
my
like
whole
trying
body.
to pass. You're like, I'm going to keep it from you.
You do pass, you do have a good flick, and a flick can take a really long time to get good at.
Got it.
And I will say the key is keeping your body flat on the bottom of the pool, because it is truly a 3D sport where
Yep.
what other sport are you going to have that person's coming from not only your sides and in front and behind you, but also above and below you.
Oh
So
my
making
gosh.
sure that you're flat on the bottom of the pool to eliminate that reach under
That
is
gets me
going to be
excited
a really
thinking about
important part. Yeah. But we're always, to Jess's point, as
Yeah.
long as you know how to swim, we're willing to teach you how to play the sport. And that's just one of the things that I love so much about the sport is
I
just how
love
welcoming
it.
it is to anybody who wants to come out.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Alex and Jess, we are running out of time, but your information has been at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for teaching me about underwater hockey.
It was a pleasure. Yeah,
Thanks for
absolutely.
having us.
Thank you.